Well, hello, hello, hello.
Well, hello. I am your beloved Count Olaf.
I am back for episode 4. This is episode 4. Wow, we've already done 3 episodes, and I hope that you've subscribed to our channel so that you can stay abreast of all of the episodes that are coming forth. When I talked about my intro and why this was important to me, be courageous anyway, it's because of the storms that I faced in my life, and I realized I didn't even have the time or the opportunity to stop and try to recover or to shrink back and to be afraid and not move forward. Like everything, and I think God designed it that way because like everything that happened, life was still going on. And that's what really happens in life. No matter what we face, no matter what we go through, life is still happening. And so what do? Do we shrink back? Do we fall apart? What do we do in situations where everything is kind of what people say going wrong? I think we need to stop and take a look and realize that even though everything looks like it's going wrong, there is something right there in the midst that we need to get and realize that something is going right at the same time. Going through a storm is a great opportunity to learn something. So do we freak out? Do we run? Do we hide? No. It's time when you're going through something, it's time to learn a valuable lesson. Because if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to press the repeat button. You're going to end up going through it again if you don't learn your lesson this time. And so not only the fact that you may go through it, but if you don't learn how to go through that thing, how to overcome that thing, then your response, sometimes that's what's important. How we respond to things. It's not so much that things won't happen to us, but how we respond to those things is what makes the big difference. I'm reminded of this scripture, and recently I did a post on my Facebook about this, and I said that God can even use a jackass to teach you. And so, of course, jackass is another word for donkey, and so I just want to use the word jackass because that's like edgier for me today. Okay, so he can use a jackass to teach you. And so the last episode that we just had, I was talking about putting away childish things and becoming mature and maturing. And a part of that maturing is taking every moment as a teachable moment and not being caught off guard by things that happen and reacting to them in a way that is going to continue to invite the same craziness into your life. There's a particular story in the Bible where this prophet, he was called to go and stand up for these people, to go do something for these people. And I'm just going to give you this brief description about it. It's in Numbers chapter 22 if you want to go read a little bit more about it. And so when he was preparing to go, like God was telling him not to go, but then the people were bugging him about coming. And it was like basically, I don't know, it almost sounded a little threatening, like if he didn't do it and come like they wanted him to come, then it was going to be some trouble or something or whatever. So anyway, he decides that he's going to get up and he's going to go anyway. God told him to go ahead and go, but not to say anything or do anything that he didn't tell him to do. And so he gets up, he goes on a journey, and he's riding on his donkey. And the donkey tries to like go a different direction, and he's beating the donkey, and the donkey continues on trying to go a different direction. And so finally, the donkey basically sits down underneath him, and he is off the donkey or whatever. He's angry with the donkey. The donkey won't go anymore. He's mad about it. He's angry, but then there's a revelation, something that happens, something for him to learn. This is his teachable moment. If the donkey has been with you all this time, and the donkey has never acted like this before, but all of a sudden the donkey is acting up and doesn't want to do what you want him to do, then likely there's something here that you need to pay attention to. So in life, there may be a situation that comes up and things are not going exactly the way you want them to do, and then you're trying to force them anyway. Like everything that you thought was going to go this way, or a relationship or this job or whatever, and you just refuse to take no for an answer, and you just gonna force it anyway. Sometimes that no is right there to save your life. Sometimes that thing that is bothering you so bad is right there to save your life, to stop you from making a huge mistake or making a bigger problem for yourself than what you may already be facing. So in this situation, the donkey sits down or whatever, but then it's revealed to him that there was an angel there all along, and that the angel was basically going to cut his head off, stop him from going where he was trying to go anyway if the donkey hadn't really stopped and saved his life. So in the Bible, the donkey talks to him and says like, hold up, wait a minute, why are you hitting me? I'm your donkey. I've been your donkey all this time. And so now you're just gonna beat me for nothing? And I'm trying to help save your life, okay? That was like this teachable moment, because that's something that doesn't normally happen, right? A donkey talking. And so, you know, whatever. Somebody's gonna try to debate and say, oh, donkeys don't talk. The Bible's an imaginary book. Whatever. Say what you want to say. I'm saying what the word says. So what I'm saying is, in this situation, and this is a teachable situation, if you want to learn the lesson, you can. If not, then you can chunk it to the side, and then when you go through it later on in life, you're going to be like, oh, that lady said something about a jackass and I should have listened. Here we are in situations in our life that are really tough sometimes, and we are trying to force them. We're trying to make them happen. We're trying to make it go forward anyway, even when there's a major resistance, and maybe we just need to stop completely, cut the thing off and not do it, but we press forward anyway. And so this is a lesson for young people. Like really, like if something that you wanted to do, I don't mean, okay, like I want to go to school. I wanted to go to U of H. I needed to get registered. Everything in that process was not easy. You know, I had to put forth effort in order for myself to be registered for school. I had to submit my grades. I had to do all the stuff. I had to go to class. I had to work. So we're not talking about those type of difficulties, but we're talking about like major roadblocks, something that like, or a red flag that's saying like, no, you really don't need to do this. Like, stop. That's what I'm talking about. And you still, even though that big stop sign is there, that's saying, no, you really don't need to do this, you try to do it anyway, or you press forward to do it anyway. And then when the results end up out crappy, you're left with that. You're left hanging with the results of that decision that you just had to make anyway. Like you just had to go to this particular place. And all along, you had that unction on the inside that you shouldn't go, but you just had to go because you didn't want your friends to think you weren't cool, or you didn't want somebody to think you was trying to diss them or whatever, or you wanted to fit in, or whatever the case may be. This can apply to several different scenarios, but you have to find yourself in it if this applies to you. And so in that particular situation, once he stopped, then he was able to get some other instruction. So sometimes you need to stop so that you can get some more information. Sometimes you need to stop so you can get some more information. And once you get the other information that you need, then you can proceed, because you'll know more. You'll have more understanding. So would I ever tell you that you don't? Okay, I tell my kids, like, you know, look, don't rush into a relationship, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that I don't ever want them to be in a relationship, but I'm saying, wait, stop. Let's focus on what's important right now at this moment. And what's important right now at this moment is you getting to know you and you establishing some things for yourself. So again, like in the last episode, this is about you right now. This is about you learning about yourself, learning the lessons that you need to learn in life early on, so that you have something to take forward and take somewhere else, and to be an asset wherever you go. Let's everybody say that word together. Asset. That should be a goal in your life, for you to be an asset to others. Let's not be a liability. Like when we talked about being a child, like a child is a liability because a child is a responsibility to somebody else, right? Even though children are a joy. Yay! I love my kids, so don't get it twisted. Kids are a joy, all of those wonderful things. But what I'm saying to you, that as you mature, you should go forward with a mindset of being an asset. And so with the mindset of being an asset, that means that there are some things that you have to learn so that you can be productive, so that you can be a producer, so that you can add something to somebody else. And that is not going to happen if, when tough things come your way, you tuck your tail, run and hide, You don't know when to say no, when to stop, when to not move forward, when to get more instruction. So definitely part of that is you getting to know yourself and know who you are. And I am a person that believes that the more you know about God, the more you know about yourself. Ask me how I know, because the less I knew of God, the less I knew of myself. And that caused me in life to make a lot of mistakes. Not only mistakes, but a lot of bad decisions, a lot of bad choices that ultimately, led to heartbreak or whatever the case may be. And God doesn't want you to be brokenhearted. He wants you to live a good life. He wants you to live the good life. And so, do you have to go through brokenheartedness? I don't believe that you do. I believe that those are circumstances sometimes that we force ourselves into, and then we realize, dog, I made a wrong decision. I'm in a bad place. Now I'm brokenhearted. So what I want to encourage you to do today is to remember that you can go through whatever challenge you are going through by being courageous anyway and learning through that challenge. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then tell a friend about this channel because you want them to subscribe too. And then also, on top of subscribing, I want you to go down in that comment section, talk to me, let me know what you think about the video, about this topic. Share some insight. Maybe you've gone through a situation that you want to share with us about, and then click the bell so that you can get a notification whenever we post a video right here on Fierce Arts and Entertainment TV on YouTube. So thank you for joining me today.